Aloha, y'all. It is Sunday, ruled by the sun, hence the name, the 9th of January. The sun is in Capricorn, the moon is in Aries, Mercury is in Aquarius, Venus is in retrograde Capricorn, Mars is in Sagittarius, Jupiter is in Pisces, Saturn is in Aquarius, Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, Neptune is in Pisces, Pluto is in Capricorn, and the North Node is in Gemini. Let's go ahead and see what's cracking for the day. Hopefully you're all doing well. I know there's been a lot of solar activity and Schumann resonance kind of stuff's going on. So I've been getting weird sleep and naps in the middle, getting exhausted in the middle of the day and being like, oh my gosh. It's funny, I actually pulled this myself personally today, and I'm not making the mistake that I did yesterday. I pulled the Page of Swords for myself when I, this morning. This is the Princess of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. So let's pay attention, shall we? Princess, like I said, in this deck is the Page energy, and swords are your mind, mentality. This is the airy part of air, the intellectual part of thinking, the playful part of thinking and communication, ideas. Dazzle in the delights of your ambitions. Pay attention to your surroundings, question your reality, and keep an open mind. I think those last three things really. Well, let's just say all of them. Dazzle in the delights of your ambitions, very Capricorn sun. Mars and Sagittarius. Pay attention to your surroundings, North Node and Gemini. Question your reality, Venus retrograde in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn. Keep an open mind, North Node and Gemini. The Princess of Swords. I call on you to live your truth. The Princess of Swords brandishes her sword artfully and precisely. Daring, she scales the heights, a true spider woman. Her domain is high up above the city's streets, running and leaping across rooftops. Boasting both an agile young body and clear, penetrating mind, she is a fabulous fusion of superheroine and freedom fighter, a princess with an unquenchable thirst for truth. Her nimble mind grasps and connects stimuli at lightning speed, giving her an incredible outlook and ability. A searing, okay, there's a hyphen there, it's on the word, it's not a C, it's an E. A searing intelligence, able to penetrate any circumstance, any drama. She can root out inconsistencies and deliver powerful arguments. Emotion doesn't get in her way, as she almost marvels at the quickness of her own mind to instantly read a given situation, assimilate many facets, contrasting, comparing, synthesizing, and evaluating possible solutions. It is almost a sport for her, very Moon and Aries. She's playing around action-wise. It's not just sitting around and thinking about things. Equally an avid raconteur, with beautiful speaking voice and wry wit, she draws out dilemmas, philosophies, and wisdom in her storytelling appearing beyond her years. Her home is unashamedly in the sky, perched on the roofs of skyscrapers like some exotic creature out of the scene from Blade Runner, Ridley Scott's great sci-fi epic, which visually inspired a generation, and is married with the animation of Ghost in the Shell, a Japanese manga, science fiction comic book. Her mind soars freely in the sky, rising and gliding like a bird on the warm vertical currents of air, giving her a unique and calm perspective. Up high, she can see there are many other vistas to explore. She won't hesitate to sharpen and test her sword. Mars in Sagittarius, sure, but I was thinking Moon in Aries. She won't hesitate to sharpen and test her sword on the most challenging of these. Inherently hardworking, Sun in Capricorn, principled and knowledgeable, she will pitch her wits in the fight for equality and justice for all, very Mercury and Aquarius. You could be mistaken for thinking this princess will indeed change something profound about the world. If only it were that simple. Those ideals so beautifully articulated could easily remain in the mental realm and not actually be grounded in reality. The Princess of Swords indicates the brilliance of mind is at your side, an agile advocate for cutting away any obstacles as you scale the heights to success. You may be being called to review the set of principles and assumptions you are living by, those high ideals you are pursuing or once believed in. Life is a great journey filled with setbacks, wrong turns, and dead ends. You are being called to be an intrepid explorer, to question assumptions, values, and ideals. What is the purpose of your life? Why are you here? What do you want? How might you navigate the difficulties, the inequalities, and the dazzling array of opportunities to realize the best of your potential? What do you think is possible from the very best of human existence? The time is ripe for a philosophical re-examination of the meaning of life and a reacquaintance with some of the most remarkable thinkers and philosophers of our time. You are ready to begin walking your talk. So the Princess of Swords, the airy part of air. Dazzle in the delights of your ambitions. Pay attention to your surroundings. Question your reality. Keep an open mind. Right? Beautiful artwork. I love this stuff. Looks like very Doctor Strange meets Spider-Man or something. So we're we're being called to think new thoughts and push new boundaries in a grounded way. Like really, with Venus in retrograde in Capricorn, you really have to be asking, are the things that I've been living for going to work? I'm actually getting really weird desires. It's like for a long time I was like, I want to do acid and live in Tokyo, and not literally, but like this hyperactive electric reality. And I'm kind of like starting to be like, that's too much, too fast. I don't need to be AI symbiote or whatever. I want to like live in a forest or a place with natural. I live in a beautiful place, but like have some animals and have some food and have some rhythms of my own. Like we play guitar at night and sing songs around a campfire or whatever, like that kind of shit. Very different than maybe what culture's been pushing on. Kurt Loder, MTV, breaking news. Oh my gosh, like everything's going fast, and it's like we need to keep our wits about us and observe reality and really start understanding where we want to be in this thing. I think that's really going to be the major changes in the near future. I digress. Healing, number 11. Oh, little frog. All right, so healing, number 11 in this deck. Let's see what it doth say. Keywords: healing, release, purification, forgiveness, transformation, infection. Key phrases: to be human is to be wounded, a time to connect body, mind, and soul, spirit. Let go of definitions and labels, nurture passions and seek pleasure, authenticity, honesty, and laughter. Find the source of all disease and distress. You need to forgive. Do what's necessary to increase well-being. Do not dwell on the unchangeable past. Shift your attention. Do not allow your pain to hurt others, and seek treatment. Do not be afraid. Meaning, the healing card illustrates our third reason for being, raison d'être in French, the reason for existing. However, it covers healing on several levels and does not necessarily suggest or imply that you are wounded or in need of healing, at least not on a conscious level. A happy, safe, and peaceful life does not always accord us with perfect health and well-being. Every person is vulnerable to dis-ease, whether it manifests in physical, mental, or emotional stress, or as a feeling of emptiness and longing that is born of spiritual wounds. Humans are a part of a hierarchical race. We have a social order, with the elite and wealthy at the top, very Capricorn sun. It's like there's a pyramid, there's a club, and you're not in it kind of stuff. With the wealthy at the top and the uneducated and the poor at the bottom. We are a species that is driven to win, with very moon and Aries, right? With each of us striving to do better, to be better than the generation that came before. Those at the top want to stay there, and those at the bottom want to reach the top. We are all goal-oriented, very Mars in Sagittarius. It's like move towards the vision of ideal. The ideals of people in the Illuminati, or Bill Gates, he wants to keep things the way it is. In fact, he went from 60 billion or $1 trillion. I don't think he has $1 trillion yet, but I think he had like $60 billion. Now he has like $128 billion or something crazy like that. So during this, like last year. Anyway, we have to believe that success moves us forward and failures set us back. We are on a perpetual quest to improve, whether it be our social standing, quality of life, or simple desire to be a better person. Mercury and Saturn and Aquarius are like, you can engineer a better life. You can make the world a better place than where you popped out into it. We must be better. We must do better. Very Capricorn, Sun, Aries, Moon. But what is better? Now we're getting into like Gemini North Node, Pisces, Jupiter and Pisces. It's like, what is truth? In our quest for betterment, are we making ourselves ill? Kind of like I was just saying, it's fine and all to like, I guess wink an eye on Google Glasses and you send an email, but it's like, is that what we're here for? In the simplest terms, we often see success and failure in the same light as we do life and death. To succeed is to live, to fail is to die, or worse still, to descend into poverty, mediocrity, and obscurity. We become fixated on being the best, succeeding at all we do, and yet we may still fail to thrive. We may find we are not happy. We may find we are not healthy. Sometimes we find that even when we do accomplish our goals and are rewarded with the wealth and prosperity, we are not satisfied and crave more. That always happened to me at gigs, actually, when we were jamming and gigging in a band a few years ago. It was very rare that I would step off stage and be like, that was awesome. It would usually be like, we could have done that better. And this is, it's like very critical and like, not successful, but not enjoying that success. Are we truly living? There's often so much going on around us in our day-to-day lives that we disconnect from our body, our thoughts and emotions, just to such an extreme that when somebody asks, how are you? We automatically say, I am well, regardless of our true feelings or whether we are physically well or not. To do this is an act of self-preservation and hides our vulnerability. our weariness, our dissatisfaction, our dis-ease from others. We may be afraid of being honest because to do so could reveal our weaknesses in a world where we must always be strong in order to survive and succeed. The shadow of Capricorn Sun and Aries Moon is like you want to come off as, I haven't seen it, but I think it's called American Psycho with Christian Bale, where he's just like trying to put out this image of success and composure and stuff, and he's actually a murderer who can't handle his shit, like on the underneath. I don't watch horror movies because my active imagination. It's just, I'll think about these things on psychedelics or in the stillness of night or whatever. The healing card symbolizes a need to reconnect and listen to what your body, mind, and feelings are telling you, to work with them instead of against them, whether it be as simple as addressing a physical ailment or addressing that empty ache that comes from denying ourselves enjoyment and connection. This card signals that it is time to rip off the layers of illusion and protective armor and the masks and look at what lies beneath. This is the positive side of Venus in retrograde in Capricorn. It's like, and Mercury in Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius, we're like, is this the design schematic that you want? And is it fully oiled? Is it, is the machine lubricated? Are all the circuits connected? Are you running in a direction that like might stimulate you, but isn't fulfilling? These kinds of things you got to be asking yourself. Are you fulfilled? I just said it. Are you fulfilled? Do you love your life? Are you happy? Or do you need everything that you strive for in order to be happy? And that is a side effect of instant gratification, consumer materialism that we're all suffering from to varying degrees. Are you living a fulfilling life that you love, or are you simply enduring and dying a little more each day and every day? Sometimes it does feel like that. It's like, oh my gosh, when am I going to have a vacation? When am I going to see people again that I like? When am I going to meet my fiance? I've never even met her, and it's been 2 years of COVID craziness. The healing card brings with it questions like these. It also asks you to look at your life and to determine whether your path heals you or harms you. If it is the latter, the healing card reminds you that it is in your power to change the direction. It is time to have a health check. You might not have visited with your chosen health practitioner for a while, and it might be time to do so, just to make sure that everything is as it should be. Address any unresolved health issues in the present so that it does not develop into something more problematic in the future. If you are in pain and you do not know why, seek help. If you have unexplained symptoms and reactions, now is the time to discover why. Act now so that your future is long and bright. You might also just need to take a moment to look within and determine whether there are any unresolved thoughts or feelings that need to be addressed in order to maintain your emotional and mental well-being. And that's very difficult right now. For me personally, just the nature of reality, and my progressed Sun and Mercury are in 12th house right now. I normally have a 12th house Mercury, but it's ratchet, and I'm sensing the collective's kind of fear and worry. You might also, the healing card in the present symbolizes pain and suffering in the now and the importance of addressing it in the present. If you are experiencing any form of pain, do not ignore it. If you are feeling burdened by weight, do not ignore it. Emotional weight, whether fear, guilt, remorse, jealousy, regret, don't ignore it. Do not shrug aside the moments and feelings that cause you pain with a false air of detachment or, the shadow of the page or princess of air is like, whatever, tomorrow's another day, let's go. And it's like, if you don't actually straighten up your posture and do some certain things, you're going to have a hunchback later on, that kind of stuff. It is important not to ignore the little things or leave anything unaddressed or unexpressed. It is especially important not to deny hurt or anger if you are feeling it. If something or someone has caused you upset, be honest and say so. It is often the little splinters and barbs that lead to infection, an infection that would not have the opportunity to develop if we had taken the time to treat the wound immediately. We ignore the small slights and discourtesies without realizing that over time, our failure to acknowledge and address them has allowed them to grow into major resentments that can bring disruption to our lives and our relationships. Instead of reacting, we overreact. Instead of taking 5 minutes to clear the air along the way, we simmer in silence until we can remain silent no longer and then react in a manner that destroys. Worse still, those little things create stress and feed stress, and stress can and does make us ill. Unaddressed and unacknowledged pain, fear, and anger can become source of dis-ease and suffering. Act with compassion. Neptune, Jupiter, and Pisces. But also without guilt and remorse. Moon and Aries, do what you got to do, to remove toxic elements from your life. To do so with the awareness that there are times when the only way to move forward, to heal completely, is to act in a manner that may bring you discomfort. The appearance of the healing card suggests, however, that if you do not act now, there may be a far greater consequence. If what seems like being, quote, cruel to be kind is the only option available that will bring you healing, then the healing card in the present advises you to do so. Very Capricorn energy, right? Sun and Capricorn. It's like, do what you got to do. But also have compassion about it. You might need to end a relationship. You might need to get off your backside, move and lose weight in order to prevent dis-ease. You might need to learn how to relax and be still, to play and to laugh. Regardless, this is one of those moments when you do what needs to be done, even if it means enduring suffering more in the short term. Finally, no pain, no gain kind of thing. Finally, you may also be presented with the opportunity to rise above and transcend the moment, but in order to do so, you will need to first acknowledge and then forgive the moment and your reactions to it. You do not need to pretend you have no feelings about the situation. You are not a stone. You are not impervious. So allow yourself to feel and then to react. How you respond after that is your choice. But if there is a funny side, try to seize it and laugh it, North Node in Gemini, until your sides hurt. Life is too short, and laughter is always the best medicine. Like I said, North Node in Gemini. So, yeah, I think we're going to be very mentally active and saying, what do I do? How do I be? With Mars in Sagittarius, we want to act on our ideals. With the moon in Aries, we're not just sitting around anymore. With the sun in Capricorn, we want to build the world and change the world. With Pluto in Capricorn, we know that there's major changes going on in the world, and it's serious. So, but it's for healing, hopefully, not just for making noise and all that jazz. So let's go ahead and get another card. Galactic Heritage card. I'm going to be playing my acoustic guitar today. I'm just feeling a little more mellow. We got Mirror Reflection 99. Right, and look, in this card, there's a whole bunch of mirroring going on, reflectivity in a very symmetrical way. That's why I said it looked kind of like Doctor Strange. And ultimately, when we look in the mirror, we can see what's wrong, quote unquote, and hopefully adjust it, heal ourselves, heal these distortions. But Zeta Reticuli, which are the gray aliens, for the record, I don't even necessarily believe in aliens, and I've always wondered if they're like, fallen angels and shit like that. So I'm not all about this, but I'm willing to explore archetypes to find more truth for what it means in our human experience. Just look at it that way. So Zeta Reticuli, 99 problems and a Jay-Z song. Anyway, 99 Zeta Reticuli, mirror reflection, future timeline. One of the reasons for the fearful Zeta encounters humans had in the past was so we could look into the reflection they represent and see ourselves. They were a major force to help humans confront their species' fears. They show us ourselves, the full journey of human consciousness from fear to love and to ultimate reunification with the source. This card asks you to be looking at your fears as a reflection of what you need to see. Don't look away. As you look fear in the eye, you can begin to see transformation, that you have all the answers you need. Let fear transform into love, as the Zetas did. That is how we heal. From fear to love. Fear is acceptable. It's usually our minds or our egos like freaking us out about things that probably are on the radar at some level of importance. Not every fear is rational, let's put it that way. Whether it's karmic, oh my gosh, we fell in Atlantis and I have a fear of catastrophism, or oh my gosh, I was burned at the stake for saying what I thought in the past life. And this is some woo-woo shit, but I was burned at the stake at the past life and now I'm really afraid to speak my truth. That kind of stuff. We need to see that it's a big game and it's a game of like healing, essentially. And how we move through that best is to namaste the bitch, right? 99 problems and a bitch of not mirroring is not one of them. Hopefully we do mirror. So let's go ahead and get an animal card. It's in being in this school. Like, we're all enrolled in Hogwarts, and you don't have to be nice, but it's better if you are. I'm pretty sure that Malfoy wasn't the most happy kid, largely because of his conditioning. He had wounds he didn't heal from his family, kind of, karma or whatever. But at the same time, he was, being a dingus. We got Purpose, Shark, with the sun in Capricorn and the moon in Aries. This is and Mercury in Aquarius. This is very purposeful energy going on. So 36. It's actually how old I am at now. Gregorian style, 36 rotations. Purpose. You are perfectly formed to be who you were born to be. There is great power in keeping your focus. Procrastination is just another kind of fear, so keep moving forward. You are protected in a difficult task. On page 141, which is like what? A mirroring number. It's called a palindrome, but I don't know if that's numerological as well as linguistic. Mythos. The people of Polynesia, and I'm watching Lost right now, which takes place in Oahu mostly, so Polynesia. The people of Polynesia had a very different relationship to sharks than most other creatures. Rather than being the object of horror and fear, sharks were honored for their power and purpose and were seen as gods, or Aumakua, who could be protective. There was a shark god who was the cousin of the great goddess Pele. He was a powerful god, but quite a lonely one. He used to swim close to the shore and become friendly with the human people there. So, loneliness, kind of being the shadow of Capricorn, Sun, Aries, Moon. It's like you're doing your own thing so much that you don't involve yourself with others. With Mercury and Aquarius in the North Node and Gemini, it's like do like, check out others and see how they're living. So this shark would watch the people swim and fish and watch the sun set with its many colors, and it was during one such time that he saw a human woman whom he felt was very beautiful. He got her attention and her trust, and they both fell in love. She fell pregnant, and when her time came, she birthed the magic green shark. The sun joined that shark in the sea and would help his mother and her people whenever they went fishing or as a protection when they traveled. Mars and Sagittarius travel. In Hawaiian culture, animals can be family's aumakua, a kind of protective spiritual guardian. This is a form of reincarnation of a family member after death, as they could transform into an aumakua animal. Some families had sharks as their aumakua, and these families would never fear sharks, knowing that their ancestor was still alive but in shark form. So, the animal. Sharks are highly specialized fish that have evolved to be the apex predator in their habitat, right? They're warriors of the water, Moon in Aries, and they've evolved to the highest levels. Mercury, Saturn in Aquarius, Sun, Pluto, and Venus in retrograde in Capricorn. Like they're the top of the pyramid. Shark teeth are embedded in the flesh around the jaw, not within the jaw itself, and teeth are constantly regrown as needed. Their sense of smell is incredible. They can sniff out 1 part of blood in a million parts of seawater. Their sense of hearing is also acute, being able to detect sounds emanating from many kilometers away. And here's a little Mercury in Aquarius tidbit. Sharks have special lateral lines down their sides of their body that are tuned to tiny vibrations, and Aquarius is all about vibration, and movements in the water, Jupiter and Neptune, magic of the water, which helps them recognize prey that might be slow or struggling in the water. Venus in retrograde Capricorn, things that are struggling in the 3D reality. They also have a special organ, this is the Mercury in Aquarius shit that I was talking about, the ampullae of Lorenzini, that picks up electrical signals and makes them the most electrically sensitive of all animals on Earth. This key for catching prey and navigation, the latter because the Earth gives off electromagnetic impulses that are dependent upon the position of the planet. Some sharks are even more specialized in their evolution. For example, the hammerhead shark. The silhouette is unmistakable. There is nothing that looks quite like a hammerhead. The eyes of a hammerhead are placed on the edges of the head wings, which gives them an extensive visual width, very handy as the hammerhead scans the sea and sandy bottom for food. Hammerhead sharks are viviparous and do not lay eggs. Pups grow inside the female sharks. This is for land-based mammals and is quite unusual. However, the freakish, Saturn and Aquarius, like their structure is alien. However, the mother gives birth to around 25 to 50 live pups at one time, and they are born with their eyes, wings folded back. Weird, but kind of cute. Other species of sharks lay eggs. So the magic of the shark on page 144, folks. Tap into it if you can. Sharks are magnificent creatures built for purpose. They are focused on their job as a predator and are exquisitely fine-tuned to do this. Every sense is supercharged. Every move is purposeful. Moon in Aries. Mercury in Aquarius. Use shark magic when you want to find your purpose and your focus again. Perhaps you're procrastinating or simply think you cannot finish a project, so call in the energy of the shark to keep your eyes on the prize. Symbols: dorsal fin out of water, shark tail, shark teeth, jaws. Status ranges from critically endangered to threatened. The practice of shark finning and sharks as a bycatch are huge issues. We actually do not know enough about some species to be able to guess their numbers. So we need to strive forward, ever forward, very heir of air, very page, or in this deck, princess of air, in order to heal ourselves. If sharks stop moving, they die, basically. As above, so below. Just like they have a purpose, and just like everything is moving towards its potential, so are we, and we have to kind of reflect that and understand that. That's why we should take care of our environment, take care of your body, take care of each other. To the degree that you're aware of love and how much everything is love and consciousness, you'll act like you know or not. Most people don't realize this, so they act stupid and selfish. And everybody is a self-acting ishness. Everybody does this. Everybody has an ego. But some people literally think this is all there is, and it's all about like getting to the top of the pyramid. We have a purpose beyond that, folks. And the purpose is magical and beautiful. It's to be the stewards of transformation in a at least in this time period, during an apocalypse, it would seem. So let's go ahead and get an artist card. We've got Andy Warhol. Very odd. Mercury in Aquarius dude. Moon in Aries, did his own thing. Capricorn Sun, schmoozed with the best of them. Kind of an elite, if you want to put it that way. So, Andy Warhol from the United States. For someone who believed that every person got 15 minutes of fame, Andy Warhol took more than his share as an extraordinarily significant 20th century someone. Capricorn Sun, Aries Moon. What didn't old Whitewig do? He revolutionized Saturn in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius. He revolutionized the use of silkscreen printing for his canvases of Campbell soup cans, Mao Zedong's, and Marilyn Monroe's. He founded The Factory, his studio and den of artistic debauchery. He briefly managed the seminal 1960s group The Velvet Underground and even survived being shot. A sweet tooth who ordered dessert before dinner, very Jupiter and Pisces, very kind of, naive. Warhol saturated art with pop and fueled the love-to-hate contemporary market. Go ahead and blame Warhol for everything about present-day art. He would appreciate it, right? So he was at the top of his game. The advice we're getting from Andy Warhol is give your 15 minutes some time, right? You have a purpose, and you have to use all your wits about you to figure that out. In some sense, like, be still and know, but at the same time, like, that's how you heal. You kind of zen out and stuff. But also look around you. See what's reflecting in your reality. Are you surrounded by a bunch of, like, what's your reality? And look around your ground. Choose your own ground, as Pink Floyd would say. You have a purpose, and that sometimes that purpose takes a little longer than you might think to gestate. I'm 36, and I still don't know what the fuck I want to do with my life. I've done a lot of things. I've traveled the world. I've lived all over the place. I've never really earned much money, particularly, but I've always been the John the Baptist, kind of on the fringes. It's not surprising with a sun in 11th house and Jupiter in Aquarius, but yeah, we are here to be what we're here to be. But sometimes the life and purposiveness of a fruit fly is very different than that of a banyan tree or a redwood. So take time in your healing journey. We're healing ourselves, and ultimately that's what the name of the game is. That is our purpose, to love and heal ourselves unconditionally, which is really the hard part, I think. And that might take new ways of looking at things. Princess of Swords. We got carnelian as the stone. I love this color. You can quantumly entangle with this. Very Mercury and Aquarius statement, but it's the true. Carnelian. What it is, a cherry red chalcedony used by ancient Romans in signet rings, wax that doesn't stick to it. So that's the functional reason. It had a very Capricorn, functional reason for doing this. And by modern folk to ward off insecurities, right? When you need that power, this red kind of energy is very Moon and Aries. Carnelian's fiery energy helps spin us out of fearful thoughts and cycle us into action, right? Our purpose, instead of just musing and being like, oh, what about this? What about this? Is like walk the path. Don't look at the path. Who needs it? The understimulated. Anybody looking to get acquainted with their fears. Hello, fear. My name is blank. We have some beautiful work to do together. Now shut the fuck up and let's do this. That is shadow work. That is mirroring. That is the healing that you need to do. Even your wounds have a purpose. And you sometimes have to give it more than 15 minutes to understand what that is, to get a bird's eye view of the situation and be grateful for more than just the suffering or the joy or whatever. So just think of this as a mantra. Hello, fear. My name is Jim. We have some beautiful work to do together. Now shut the fuck up and let's do this. Very Moon and Aries, Capricorn Sun. Where to put it? Wherever you want to inject some passion and confidence, i.e. your palate or your pelvis. When to use it? When you find your creativity or sex drive on sleep mode. Go with your gut. And that is the beauty of the Page of Swords, the Princess of Swords here. She's going with what it's in her nature to be creative and expressive. She's going with her design, her purpose. And we all have a purpose in our gut. And don't even get me started on healing your gut biome. That's a very big part of health. But we should be healing our perspectives, healing ourselves, healing the world through ourselves, knowing that it might take some time. It's, Rome wasn't built in a day, and that everything you're doing does have a quantum holographic impact on everything. So don't always just, you want to be observational and aware of your surroundings in order that you don't miss out on your purpose, in order that you kind of move forward in your own healing process. And to do that, you have to be authentic, which is very much Moon and Aries energy, very much Mars and Sagittarius energy. It's like, what is your gut telling you? What is your truth? But we have to be careful with that, because North Node and Gemini is saying, keep your mind open. You might not have ever thought about truths in a certain way, and that's how they actually are, et cetera, et cetera. So, oops. I'm trying to think of a song. I might try a really hard song that I don't know if this will work. Bohemian Rhapsody? like I said, it's not really an acoustic song, and it's definitely not usually a solo song. But I'm thinking this is giving us, like, what's my purpose? Jupiter and Pisces. Is this true or fake? What's real? And then, like, kind of going through the process of healing. Mom, I killed somebody, and I'm having the karma, Capricorn sun, in the situation. I'm an individual, but I want to live. I don't want to die. Moon and Aries. I want to survive. And can I make deals? Mercury and Aquarius. Mercury and Aquarius and Saturn. Can I, like, hack the system? Ishmilak, no. Capricorn will not let you go. It's Pluto and Capricorn. You're going to have some issues. So I'll try to play this, but this probably won't be, like, a top 10 rendition of all time kind of thing. Bear with me as I play Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen from 1975. Okay, geez, I gotta really think about this now. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy, because it's easy come, easy go, little high, little low, any way the wind blows doesn't really matter. Oh, these are going to be hard chords to me. I think it's made for a piano, so not so much a guitar. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, ooh, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back this time, back again this time tomorrow. Carry on, as if nothing really matters. My right arm just fell asleep. The one that's playing. Oh, it's like tingling, so hold on. That might be problematic here. Too late. My time has come. Right, Capricorn. Sends shivers down my spine. Mercury and Aquarius. Body aching all the time. Health card. Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Moon in Aries. Sagittarius. Aquarius, or Mars and Sagittarius. God, I gotta stop interrupting myself. I've gotta go. Gotta leave you all behind to face the truth. Mama, anyway the wind blows, I don't wanna die. Sometimes wish I'd never been born at all. I can't even see these chords now. And my arm's asleep. Everything's going bad. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche. Will you do the fandango? Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, Figaro, Magnifico. Why did I try this song? I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family. Spare him his life for this poor monstrosity. Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Ishmilak, no, we will not let you go. Bismillah! I didn't know that was the word. We will not let you go, let him go. We will not let you go, will not let you go. Very Saturday, or Capricorn sun. Will not let you go, will not let you go. Oh, no, 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 no. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has a devil for a side for me, for me, for me. That was a butchering, but I'll live. So you think you can stone me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby, can't do this to me, baby. Just gotta get out, just gotta get right out of here. Oh my gosh, these are all weird chords. Anyway, the wind blows. Or something. R.I.P. Freddie, I'm sorry. I butchered your song. But no, that's really what we're getting. Like, look at all over the place that energy is, right? It's fun, it's free, it's playful, very Page of Swords, very Princess of Swords. But everything had a purpose in that structure. It was telling a story. It was taking you all over the place emotionally. I didn't do the best job acoustically, but the song is a journey of healing about like making mistakes, coming to acceptance, to terms with karma, very Saturn, Sun and Capricorn, right? Realizing, oh my gosh, I hurt someone and now I've got to suffer the consequences, mirroring, right? But go with your gut. You've got to be present in this reality, even if you're on trial for murder. That's a weird way to put it. I've actually heard an interesting side talking about that's a song about AIDS, but I don't even know if AIDS was a thing in 1975. I put a gun against the guy's head and pulled the trigger, now I'm dead, all this kind of stuff. So it's a journey of healing, and it's a journey of healing in the world that makes us feel purposeless sometimes. We need to rise in our minds outside of that scenario and look around at everything that we have around us and ultimately go with your gut with how you want to be in this world. Knowing, just like Andy Warhol says, that give your 15 minutes of time. Maybe your court, to the Bohemian masters or whatever, take some time. And maybe you get off the hook. Maybe you don't. No matter what, it's a process of healing. No matter what, you are here for a reason. And no matter what, it's time to North Node and Gemini for the last few days. Really look to new horizons for where you want to be going with things. Because if you haven't noticed, tradition, whether it's religious, economic, political, etc., is breaking down. So hopefully that helps. Sorry for butchering that song, but it was fun. Very Aries mood there. I was just like, I'm going to do it. It's like, oh shit, I had no walking sticks for this journey and I didn't know what I was doing. A little preparation would have been better, but whatever. It's the nature of these readings. Holler for cards if you want. $33 for an hour. People love it. I love it. $88 for 3 hours of astrology. $111 for 4 or 5 hours of both. Only 5-star reviews, so that's always gang gang. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. It's amazing, and you're going to find the others. Hashtag Team Rabbit Hole. That's how it works. We're all going down this weird rabbit hole trip together, and we have to find the people we resonate with and also know that our polar opposites are equally in the dream and all that jazz. So check out the podcast, holler for readings, and I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. Anyway, that wind blows. Adios.